Endure and survive, and welcome everyone to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. This is a special episode because I'm a big fan of the Last of Us franchise, and today we have none other than this review for The Last of Us, now on HBO Max. If you guys like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and check out other playlists as well. Dylan, I really want to get your take on this starting now.
I know your blood's boiling for this review, but well, firstly, I have to confess, I've never played any of the Last of Us games, so I feel bad that I'm a novice to this series. I know you're a huge fan.
Yeah.
I know like bits and pieces, but I'll tell you what though, I can tell when adaptation looks really well done. I think HBO did for this show what Netflix did for The Witcher. It just looks so like natural and good. But yeah, I know you're just dying to let your thoughts out. So being that you're such a passionate fan for this franchise, I want to hear what you thought about episode 1.
Yeah, the way how they gave more context and depth to Sarah and Joel's relationship, I think was really important, right? We needed to feel something, and we needed to feel kind of ill seeing her die. And I think the way how they reimagined just the story structure to fit live action adaptation was brilliant. And remarkably, they actually stayed pretty true to the game. And I'm kind of surprised to see that I think the first season will actually cover the first game, but there's so much more in Last of Us Part 2, so I don't wonder if we're going to get season 2, season 3 out of that. But yeah, all the characters were amazing. Joel, played by Pedro Pascal, amazing. That grit, that scorn that he has, that hatred, right? Last of Us all about the cycle of violence. I could see it in his eyes. He's a monster deep down. I think Tess, man, Anna Torv played the hell out of the role. I really enjoyed Tess here. And I can't wait for you guys to see her in more episodes as well. I think you're going to be in for a shock. Really cool stuff. And I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Bella Ramsey as Ellie. I was a little bit, on the fence with her, but I think that she nailed the role. She has an innocence to her, but she's really witty and sharp. And I think that people are going to enjoy her for hopefully many seasons to come. I don't think anyone's going to have any gripes with that. But back to you, now being exposed to The Last of Us, what do you think about this episode?
Oh my God, so many thoughts ran through my head in just the first 20 minutes of this episode. First of all, this is a long episode. Yeah. It's like an hour and like 30 minutes. And sometimes that's a bad thing for some episodes, but here it just went beat by beat. And I love the build up to this. It felt so much like I was watching like, I don't know, like The Crazies or like some apocalyptic like zombie film. I love when they show like the state of things before the apocalypse happens, and it just felt like another day. Like they were like celebrating like Joel's birthday, and then like kind of like they throw like snippets of like what's on the news, like things are happening in the background. Also, I just love the attention to detail that this show does. Just like I'll be honest, like we grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s. I forgot so many things back then. Like obviously like the Iraq War happened, and they showed like the little decal. They had like the portrait of like George Bush in the classroom, and then so many like the one guy had like an Al Gore t-shirt too.
Yeah.
So I thought that was so funny. And even the first intro to the episode where the professor played by John Hannah, I was glad to see him back. It really set the tone for this whole like series to come. It just like it's so like scientific, but just like when he goes into the details, like what this virus does, it just adds to like that level of fear. It's like I just kept thinking like how bad COVID or how worse COVID could have been if it had been on this scale. So it just terrified me. But yeah, amazing attention to detail. It really feels like this is a big budget like series. The sets are phenomenal. Like you can tell when like certain things feel like stagecraft. It just feels like the Hummer burning, just like the set. Oh my God, just like beautifully done. I think way better than Walking Dead environments. But yeah, what else did you think of the series?
Yeah, so if you're a novice to The Last of Us, I know a lot of people had gripes with The Last of Us Part 2, but if you're a novice, I just want you to understand that the world is gray. It's not so simple. A lot of people are bad guys. If this situation had happened in real life, Dylan and I probably would be bad guys as well. And you, the viewer watching.
Oh, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I'd be dead.
You gotta watch out for this
Akram
guy.
maybe more than me. Akram has firearms.
Yeah. I'm a gun nut. But yeah, I think the beginning was really important because, as you said, it set the tone. And he's basically saying, yeah, we're all screwed if this actually happens. So hope is really hard to come by. And I think that set something, and hopefully in people's minds, that it's kind of like The Handmaid's Tale, where a kind gesture will get you by. And what makes you a monster is just living in that hate and that ruin. And that's what Joel is living through. And Ellie at the moment is really naive, and she's going to experience that as well. And I think the way how they handled that very beginning was crucial to the rest of how many seasons we'll probably get for the series.
I was going to say, when you were talking earlier about like how Joel is a very dark character in the game, you can kind of see like foreshadowings of that in the beginning when Tommy's driving. He's like, hey, let's just stop for this family, right? And he's like, no, just keep going. Yeah. Like, it just little things like that you have to pay attention to.
Yeah. And hey, at the end of the day, Joel needed to take care of his daughter, and he had nothing else in his mind, right? So it was survival mode. And Joel has lived through the 24 years in survival mode and trying to just take care of himself, and apparently Tess too, which they're a couple, which is really interesting. So all you shippers for Tess and Joel, you got what you want. So there you go. Yeah, again, Pedro, we were talking earlier about him being Mando. It had to happen. He had to be Joel. It just makes sense right now.
He was made for this role.
Yeah. That voice, right? Ellie is just basically Grogu. It's so funny.
Basically.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing, and going back to I actually want to talk about the infected, because I think, you know, you were saying in The Walking Dead Revisited how the zombies weren't just scary enough anymore, right? They were kind of stupid, and it's really the humans that's the bad thing, or at least the enemies. But here, it's everybody. It's the environment that's crumbling. It's the infected, and it's your neighbor. And so give me your thoughts on this redesign for a zombie.
I love how, like, it really felt like a biological attack. Like some zombie films, like, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like realistic for me. Yeah. Like obviously, like Resident Evil takes it like they exaggerate their zombies way too much, but here it really feels like, that's why I said I love the beginning when he's like, the professor's like explaining the virus and how it breaks down like your body and stuff. I love just seeing like the little transitions like with the humans. That scene where like the grandmother was like sitting in the chair and the dog is like just like growling at her, and even just like that shot when she was like croaking, like you just saw like Sarah, she's like not even paying attention. That was so disturbing to me. It kind of felt like that scene in Legion with the crazy old lady for some reason. It's just so creepy and disturbing. And just like, I love the design for like when you see like how it breaks down their body. It looks like something out of like a Guillermo del Toro film, like just the fungus, how it like mutates their body. I love the design. I can't wait to see more of the infected in this series. But yeah, they were awesome. What did you think of them?
Oh yeah, my friend, there's a lot more infected coming your way, and there's plenty of other types of infected. I can't wait to see the bloater. If you guys are playing The Last of Us or love The Last of Us, I know that we're all excited to see the bloater. Yeah, I think The Last of Us is good at making you question your morality and also questioning beauty at times. I think it's weird. It's like you don't want to think that violence can be beautiful or something grotesque can be beautiful. The city is overgrown with foliage and stuff like that. And, you know, people at the end of the day are turning into plants, or just fungus. And it's weird. It makes you feel kind of ill. It's grotesque, but the colors are kind of very natural, very beautiful. It makes you question.
It's a weird
things.
Contrast.
Yeah,
it's like dangerous but beautiful.
And that's what makes you question your morality too, because these characters have so much depth to them. And so it's like, you're liking basically a bad guy. One of your favorite characters is honestly a bad guy, right? And that's what I love about part 2 is like Ellie goes and kills dogs, but you get to play in a different perspective, and those dogs had names and those dogs had owners and stuff like that. And I can't wait till we get more of that. A beautiful show, honestly. I even love the digital grain and just the contrast of like the colors too. I think it had a nice palette as well. But what else?
Well, we talked a little bit about, you know, the infected, but going to the human element in this show, we see obviously the Fedra and also the Fireflies. So what were your thoughts on them, and also Merle Dandridge as Marlene?
Yeah, so Fedra played a big role in the beginning of The Last of Us 1, just in the beginning at least, and they were constantly chasing down Joel, Tess, and Ellie, and I think we'll see more of that. Here, they looked very utilitarian, ragged, and I think it matched the gritty realism tone. And again, they're like this type of fascist group, and they had good intentions in the beginning, and then like everything the human element kind of sours the pot. And so, yeah, it was really interesting to see also that smuggling scene between Joel and that guy. It's like interesting. It's like they're not really good, you know what I mean? They just have a home, right? That's why they're really doing this. So I don't know if we'll see more of them though, because there are a lot of factions. Like they mentioned slavers, they mentioned ambushers and stuff like that. But seeing Merle Dandridge as Marlene, holy shit, music to my ears, because it's exactly Tess, or I'm sorry, it's exactly Marlene. It's awesome. It's interesting, really.
That was crazy when I found out. Yeah, when she actually auditioned for the video game.
Yeah.
And then seeing her like on live action, that was awesome.
Yeah, she looks good. Actually, like at one point I thought that they didn't look alike, but actually no, they actually do. She looks really good here, and I think she added more to the character as well. There's something about live action, of course. It's like she added some more depth there. I love that too. It's like you have this actress that played Marlene before, but now she's playing Marlene in a different light. It kind of feels like this reboot. It's interesting. And yeah,
it's kind of like Katie Sackhoff playing Bo-Katan in the Clone Wars, and then like seeing her live action. It's so cool.
Yeah, it really is. Like the style, the minute detail. I feel like Homelander, the minute detail. So that was really cool. Also, let me get your thoughts on Tommy. I know we didn't get much of Tommy, but I actually really enjoyed Tommy in this.
Yeah, we didn't get much of, well, I mean, he was prevalent in the first half of the episode, and then the rest of the episode is like basically Joel goes out to, like, the series kicks off with Joel trying to find Tommy, but I thought he was awesome. Gabriel Luna I thought was like so natural, and you could definitely tell like he's a different character from Joel's character. Like he's a very more empathetic character, and you know, he's willing to risk his neck for people who doesn't know. So I hope, I mean, I don't know much of his character in the games, but I hope that he makes a prominent return in this series. Oh
yeah, for sure. I think we're gonna see a lot more of Tommy and some cool action scenes, wink wink, along the way. But yeah, so now moving forward too, because we did get a little preview of the episodes to come, and again I mentioned that it looks like they're covering basically the first game. I know that episode 3 will feature Bill and Frank. Apparently Frank is like, he's alive here. Frank committed suicide in the game, so it's like interesting to see that. We even get a glimpse at the hospital scene, the end of the game. That's where you get to really figure out and question your morality of who to save. That is going to be heart-wrenching. I cannot wait to see that. But do you have any more thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to say this was an awesome introduction for me to the franchise. Hopefully down the line I'll play the game, but just, man, this show really kicked it off, and I'm so happy for you, because I know you've been waiting such a long time. I know you wanted to do your video essay a long time ago. Maybe you'll get a chance after this, but yeah, I'm happy that, you know, you finally get to live this experience, and we get to watch it together and review it on this podcast. It's so awesome.
It really is.
But I don't have too many thoughts on it, because I really don't know much about the series. I'm here for the ride, but I can't wait, and I can't wait to review these episodes.
Yeah, so guys, that's our review. But Dylan, before we wrap up, what would you rate this episode?
Oh, rating 10 out of 10 easily. Easily.
Yeah, we're on the same page there, buddy. Well, guys, yeah, again, we just wrapped this episode. If you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to like and share. Again, it helps the channel out, and it really helps us to grow and to reach a wider audience as well. We have plenty of stuff coming in the future, and this month we have a lot of exciting different niche things that we want to go over, and I think you guys are going to enjoy that as well. Next month is going to be crazy. But Dylan, why don't you take us away?
Well, guys, if you are a fan of The Last of Us, you'll definitely want to like and subscribe because we're doing more reviews episode by episode each week. So stick around for those. And like Akram said, we have a lot more other content out already. Our first 2 episodes for season 5 just dropped. We did a review for Hunter season 2 and also Vikings Valhalla season 2. So those are out on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, as well as YouTube. You can check out our Instagram socials as well, which are linked in the description, and you can check us out on TikTok and Facebook as well. But yeah, endure and survive, guys. And until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
Do and survive. See you guys.